Hello, everyone. I'm Allison Steinberg, and welcome to In Focus. Have you ever seen the phenomenon called bioluminescence? Bioluminescence is the production and emission of light by a living organism, and the creatures are found throughout marine habitats, from the ocean surface to the deep sea floor. But according to a new report, bioluminescent creatures are now human. Dr. Mrna and PCR is reporting that the faces of COVID jabbed and the unjabbed glow under UV light, and so do particles that get shed to the unjabbed. Take a listen.
New research shows that those who received the COVID shots emit a fluorescent orange glow in their faces that is visible under a UV light of 365 nanometers. PhD Justin Coy began his own research. He found that the more shots a person received, the more they glowed under UV light.
So on top of the shot not being safe or effective at stopping COVID, they light up the jabbed and the unjabbed like the bioluminescent waves? Sounds like a crazy sci-fi experiment gone wrong, doesn't it? Except that this experiment is going very right for the globalists and their plan to use COVID and the shots for a biological ID. Here to explain more is the aforementioned Dr. Mrna and PCR, MD, PhD, and president and owner of AM Medical LLC and founder of True Blue Medical. Dr. Mrna, thank you so much for being with us today. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, doctor, let's start with the glowing. I'd love to know, how did you discover this? What exactly is the cause of the glowing, and why is this so alarming?
Because so I've studied self-assembling nanotechnology in the COVID shots, and this is really how Dr. Justin Coy found me. He came to my office one day and he said, you know, doctor, I've been verifying everything that you've been researching, and he has been observing that after people got the shot, that this glow would start to spread to their forehead under UV light. So what's really important is a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, it is normal to have a glowing fluorescence of your skin, for example, the sebaceous material in your skin. But this actually developed within 2 weeks of getting this shot, and it was extremely prominent. So since we've been looking at this material, quantum dot technology, for example, that we've also found in the human blood, including the unvaccinated, I was part of a research team and research effort to identify what are these strange filaments or hydrogels in the human blood. And I worked with Clifford Carnicum, and we found that these are polyvinyl plastics and other hydrogels, for example, polyamide proteins, which can be, for example, nylon, Kevlar, or spider silk, which is used for military applications. So this idea that there were blinking lights or quantum dots that are light emitting and a fluorescence emitting, I've already proven that in human blood. And you can see behind me the type of filaments that we find now, not just in the vaccinated, but due to self-spreading, also in the unvaccinated. And what was so interesting, that the vaccinated were also growing filaments that were Morgellons-like. Morgellon was a polymer disease that was spread via geoengineering applications, and people were deemed as psychotic because these strange, colorful fibers would come out of their skin. But now we've shown the same thing coming out of a vaccinated individual. These also glow, and they appear to be artificial intelligent life form because they clearly are responding to biophotonic light, as well as any type of closeness to, for example, human hair that can latch on and then enter the skin and infect others. In fact, it's been shown that these things can be airborne and therefore inhaled, or that could be a mechanism of how the shedding process occurs that was actually outlined in the Pfizer documents.
Wow. I mean, to say this is concerning might be an understatement. I believe there's also reports that these same chemicals are being used in chemtrails. Does that coincide with what you were just talking about, these particles being in the air? Can you explain more about these chemicals and why they're so poisonous?
Because it's been shown that the geoengineering, weather warfare operations, are spraying not just graphene oxide on people, which also has been shown to be associated with the shots, but also self-assembling polymers. So what are polymers? They're a type of plastics that when the polymerization process starts, they grow into filaments. And so when humans are inhaling this technology of Morgellons was also used for biosensing application. And here we get into the why. Why is this sci-fi movie actually happen to us? It's because the transhumanist agenda is to digitize all life and to actually inject the surveillance under the skin, as Yuval Harari has discussed, that would allow them to identify people. And so clearly it appears that all of the purple lights that have been installed on the streets could be potentially used also for this identification.
Wow, that was one of my big concerns when I saw those lights going up, and everyone thought I was crazy, but lo and behold, looks like this is all part of their plan. Let's talk more about surveillance technology. I have a clip that I want to play about the hydrogels, and then we'll come right back to you to discuss further.
The building blocks of hydrogels are being found in the COVID vaccine, and hydrogels are being found in the blood of both the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. They are the so-called blood clots that are being found around the world. And these hydrogels can now be programmed, encrypted, and decrypted.
So the clots we've all been hearing about and seeing from embalmers are designed to connect our brains to machines for surveillance. Is that correct?
Well, so I was part with Clifford Carnicum of really analyzing these clots, and what we found with a chemical signature that we also found in the blood. So these were polyvinyls, polyethylenes, which is polyethylene glycol, and polyamides. And polyamides are like nylon. So hydrogels are a programmable matter. So it's been shown that you can encrypt data into hydrogels. And in the Mrna patent, which is the real platform for these COVID biological weapons, they discuss having introduced stealth nanoparticles and the same signatures that we found in the blood. And we see this developing under dark field microscopy are named in the patents, and they're also used for this technology. So we have to ask ourselves if the surveillance under the skin has already occurred, because clearly it looks like it does. And the most important part of it is that the Neuralink brain chip that Elon Musk just introduced, really you don't have to implant a chip anymore when you have hydrogels fusing with natural organs and cells. Because, for example, there was a study that showed that in cardiac muscle for people who underwent coronary artery bypass graft, they did biopsies of the heart muscle and they found 15 different microplastics, which is exactly the same chemicals that are used for this human brain-computer interface.
Unbelievable. My goodness, this is just incredible information. We're almost out of time, but I would love to have you back to discuss this further because this is obviously so important. I did want to ask you, the clots are being attributed to the cause of so many of the deaths that we're seeing happen currently. But why use a technology that's killing people if the ultimate goal is surveillance?
Because ultimately there goes also depopulation. If you look at the transhumanist agenda, they want to reduce human population to 500 million, and they have put this out because this is a satanic agenda. We have to remember that everything that is happening is basically to defile the divine human being and to fuse it with technology and to phase out what it is to be human. So what we're fighting for is the survival of our species, and it's important that people know about. There are things that can help with this, like EDTA chelation, methylene blue, other molecules like high-dose vitamin C. You can find this on my Substack, more information about it.
And what is your Substack, just so people know where to go?
It's Mrna, MD-PhD.substack.com.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anna. We so appreciate all of your time and insight on this very important issue. Again, I'd love to have you back to discuss this further. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.